don't know if I ever even listened to a whole Beyonce album. So to be fair, well, it ain't no being fair because it really don't matter. Because it's all subjective anyway. But I don't even know if any of her albums deserve to be album of the year. I mean, just because you win all these different categories don't mean you got the best album that year. To be honest, but I don't know. I don't listen to her albums.
But logically, because really, when it comes down to, it's not about at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to how many people listen to your stuff. Once you get nominated, the people that's under the Grammys is who choose who's the winner's going to be.
I know.
So
what I'm saying is, what do you?
But think about it like this: like you're a football team, right? You win. There's 10 games you got to play. Mm-hmm. You win 7 out of 10 games, and then you go to the championship and you won that game. That means that you won, right?
If you won the championship, if you won the Super Bowl,
that means that you win, right? Or not even that. Matter of fact, scratch it. You got to play 10 games. 7 out of 10 games you won, right? Mm-hmm. No one else has won 7 games. Everybody only got 10 games. Your team won 7 out of the 10 games. That will put you in the number 1 slot, right? Mm-hmm. So it would make sense that your team would be one of the teams to make it to the championship because you're in the number 1 slot.
Yeah, but it's a little different. But I think the equivalent is, okay, let's say your team has players on it that's winning a lot of different categories. Like, okay, I got I got wide receiver on my team that caught the most passes in the league. I got the running back that ran for the most yards in the league. You know what I'm saying? Maybe my quarterback didn't throw for the most yards. Another team got that, but then I got somebody on defense that got the most tackles in the league. You know, you got all these different players on the team that has these individual accomplishments, just like the Pro Bowl. Like Dallas every year have like 10 or 11 players going to the Pro Bowl. But when they come together, they don't form a good enough team to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's not the same as that, though. It's not the same as that because it's not. If you have one song that's good enough to win an award, mm-hmm. and it's just that one song, and that one song is winning all awards, so then I can understand you not winning. The one song don't make an album of the year. But if your whole album is winning a whole bunch of stuff, what is it? I don't know what the categories are. I checked out of the Grammys a long time ago. But if you're winning a bunch of different awards for not just one song, but a bunch of different stuff under a bunch of different categories, but then it comes down to the finals, and you're not even you're listed on the album of the year. You won all these other awards, but then you don't win this one. What would be the reason for that? There's people who's winning who probably won like 1 or 2 other Grammys. But then they're winning an album of the year. Or they won no other Grammys. You won all the other categories that they were in. But then they won album of the year. Does that make sense?
It don't, but in the same sense though, one can think about it like this. Maybe they trying to satisfy her by giving her those other awards because they don't feel like she got the album of the year. But she Beyonce. We don't want to snuff. We want to walk away with something. But her album ain't the best.
Well,
so either she gonna win hardly nothing, and like we know we not giving her album of the year.
But even that line of thinking is wrong, because it shouldn't matter who it is who's performing these songs. Who they are shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be a popularity contest. It should just be about if it's good or not.
I know, but
if it's worth it or not.
I agree, but obviously, I mean, a lot of people feel like she should win album of the year. But I'm assuming because she has the best album of some of those years, but I don't know.
Well,
does she have the best album? Are her albums that great?
I don't know.
Are you a Beyonce listener?
I don't know. I haven't listened to all of Beyonce stuff in a good minute, but I know that there's been times when she's won a whole lot of Grammys. I was very surprised to find out that she's never won album of the year. I was extremely surprised to find out.
I'm surprised just because she's Beyonce, but I don't know.
Well.
Like I'm trying to think it's albums that I've heard that I'm like I will have to hear. I will have to know the categories.
I don't know. I just know the amount of awards that she won. I remember one year when she won so many because Michael Jackson was the person who had won the most Grammy awards
Up until Beyonce.
Yeah.
Broke it.
And she broke that, and no one has been able to surpass. No one has surpassed her. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, like I don't know how many categories they got, but if she got an album that's being placed on all of these categories, and she's winning them all, how could she not win that album of the year?
I mean, it's logic. I agree with the logic.
I'm not listening to her stuff. This is me just kind of going off of, what I know that I heard. Because I don't participate in these award shows.
This is all I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying. That's logic. But realistically, that means something's going on. To me, one or two things happening here. Either they feel like they gotta honor her some type of way, because it'd be a travesty not to give her no awards and no album of the year. When I say no awards, I don't mean literally zero. Just a couple awards and still not win album of the year. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to give her a lot of awards. This is like, man, we got to give Beyonce these awards. But she ain't going to win album of the year. Because something's going on. Unless... I agree, because if her album's not album of the year, she shouldn't be winning all these awards like that. If she dropped all these albums and none of them won album of the year, she shouldn't be getting as many awards as she's getting. So it's not adding up, but it sounds like it's something going on behind the scenes. And I feel like they trying to satisfy her by giving her these awards, but deep down they don't want to give her album of the year for whatever reason. Maybe they just feel like she don't deserve album of the year. She's dropping on the wrong years as other people with great albums. Or something. But for them to try to satisfy her, my guess is that they are trying to satisfy her more than Jay-Z realized. That's my guess. So they looking at it like, she's Beyonce. Wrong year. Every time she dropped when Taylor Swift dropped. She dropped when this person dropped, when that person dropped, da-da-da. Her album's not as great as people think. But we don't want to snub her because she's Beyonce, so let's give her something to show some appreciation. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why they keep feeding her them joints. She probably don't even deserve to win the categories that she winning. If my guess, I'm thinking she don't deserve to win them awards she winning if she ain't won an album of the year. They giving those to her to try to satisfy her. But at this point, it's not working. They want album of the year, but these folks don't want to give it to her for whatever reason. And I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't listen to her music. It's like, I can think of classic album. Nipsey Hussle's the last album was a classic album. You know what I'm saying? He dropped a classic. I don't know who else be dropping. John Legend dropped a couple classic albums, I think, or at least one. I never listened to a Beyonce album fully through to know if her albums are like album of the year. She dropping classics. Maybe that Lemonade joint. That joint was like a classic. I heard a couple songs on that. Mm-hmm. That joint was like a good one, I think. I never heard I don't listen to Beyonce like that. So.
I haven't fully listened to Beyonce since her album that had like Upgrade You and everything like that. So, but the Lemonade one, she, like almost every song that she dropped, people was loving. And just basing it off of people that I know is on Beyonce like that. Everything that she popped on that album, everything she dropped on that album was real good. The one where she had Dance For You, that album, the one that had like Partition Please and everything like that, I think that album shot up the things too. But this is like,
who dropped that?
But at the
you
end,
can't dismiss who won.
But at the end of the day, we are not a part of the Grammys. The Grammys got their own thing. All I'm saying is
their ears are wired different than ours. They like what they like.
I don't even think it's that. They are the final say so, and it's their institution and it's their platform. They are going to choose who they want to win. It don't matter. At that point, it don't matter who's better, what song is better, or what. They're going to look at it and, be like, okay, well, it's a popularity contest. Who y'all want to win this? Okay, we're going to give it to that person. And I just feel like, like if Jay-Z and Beyonce really feel like, like they're shafting her, instead of complaining about it, they should do something about it. That's all. They got the ability to do so. They got the connections to do so. So just do it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm like, it's just like, I just don't. It's like, okay, great. You know, like y'all said what y'all said. Kanye said it years ago. You know what I'm saying? But it was what was said was what's said. It still ain't make no difference. I doubt it's going to make a difference again. Mm-hmm. So what's y'all next step? That's all. What's y'all next step?
All right. Okay. Go on to the next one.
All right. So thank y'all so much for listening to Clip and Cap Quickies. And y'all have a good day.